What is up, fam? This is your boy Jacob Padilla, and you're watching the Break It Down Show.
That's right. Jacob Padilla and I go way, way back. About 2.5 years
Yes,
ago,
sir.
I played a gig in Winters,
Yep.
California. Jacob was there. He was so kind. He came up. He was like, man, I love the pocket. We had a great time. We chopped it up. And then I heard him play the next day, and I was like, holy cow. What just happened? Who was this kid even talking to? Jacob is a very talented drummer and musical director, and he inhabits the pocket in the secular and in the worship space.
Yes, sir.
And we're really excited about his contribution as a worship drummer and musical director. So that's what we're going to talk about a lot today.
Yep.
But then we're going to bring you back on the show and talk about everything else going on in your
Sounds
life.
good. Sounds good.
So I just wanted to say, man, it's so good to see you. I haven't really seen you in person in 2.5 years.
Yes.
So
I want to say, bro, you're looking good.
Man, thank
Bro,
you.
making me look small, man.
Come so Shawn and I walked over to your booth today. Shawn is he's also a worship MD, and the two of you have a connection in terms of what you're accomplishing in that space. So let's talk about what's really important about connecting with a congregation.
Yeah. So, most important thing I tell people is, as musicians, we sound good, and our drive is to sound good, have good quality music, good quality, not just equipment, but like that sound. We want to sound crisp, right? But most important, before we are musicians, we are called to be Levites, right? Which are ministers or worshipers, right? And again, like last night we had Fred Hammond, right? We had Saddleback. This morning we had Bonnie Munoz from Sam Audio and Mia Audio. And I told people, we can sound good, or you can go to church service and then, wow, what a production. It sounds good and it sounds like a big concert. But at the same time, you're missing that part of being ministered and connecting with musicians or their worship. So again, I tell people 50% is our skills and talents, 50% is how we're going to minister and touch people, because it is an emotional and a feeling type of thing. It's not just listening and like, wow, sounds good. But also, again, it's like, I believe if our skills and talents are on pocket, on point, perfect, and then our ministering or that enclosement or connection with reading the Bible, reading the Bible and praying and having that prayer time, once worship comes in, is like boom, and it's like one of the best experiences you can have. And at the same time, we were talking earlier, where like I've been to churches where sound system is not good, musicians are not good, vocal wise they're like, but 2-3 minutes into that song, you're crying because they have that engagement with you, they have that connection with you, so it becomes something very personal, and I love that.
I think that's a piece missing with a lot of music. Period.
Yeah.
Is passion.
Yes.
And in church, if passion's missing, you kind of know why. But how many times you see bands and choirs and whoever, and if the passion piece isn't there and it's not instilled and it's not inborn, it's just not real.
Yep.
And it doesn't have the same effect. And there's about 100,000 people here right now,
Yeah.
mostly in this room, without realizing a lot of this is for church.
Oh yeah.
And a huge percentage of these musicians came out of church.
Yep.
And of our genres that exist. I mean, rock and roll today, it began back there. Blues certainly came out of church. Gospel, those grooves, modern American jazz came out of church. And today, church is affecting Latin music. It's affecting so many things. And those people who grew up that we might have grown up with that were before us, the greatest singers, the greatest musicians, church, and they had that passion when it was about performing for something greater than yourself.
Yeah.
As a small thing. Like, we think about like David performing for the king with a harp.
Yeah.
He didn't phone it in.
Yeah.
He was like, I got to bring it.
Yeah.
It's being a harp, and I'm going to bring it down.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what you're talking
Yeah, man. And again, it's just being humble about it.
Well, the flip side is if you look at the artists who came from church, the thing about a musician who has had passion and connection and learned to play in church, you don't have to teach that musician feel.
Yes.
And everything is about feel. So if you start with that, playing for something bigger than yourself, then you really, really connect.
Yeah, because most importantly, like you can sing a song about love, but if you don't feel it, it's just like something you listen to. But if you show emotion and you show how that love affected you, then it becomes one-on-one with the song, and then you start connecting with people. Because hey, maybe the song is about heartbreak, or like I got hurt. There's somebody on the congregation or on the field that got hurt, but because you put your emotion into it and that feeling, they're like, man, they're keeping it real up there. And that's something I always love, just keeping it real with the music, because anything you do transfers into the people, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, we want to make sure that we thank AKG and JBL for providing the media center. We're at the NAMM Show 2022, and if you want to see Jacob, because today's only Saturday and we're here today and tomorrow, you can stop by the Sam Audio booth, which is 11300.
It's 10933.
Oh, 10933. Oh, boy, I was far. 10933.
You send over to Roland.
That's true. But we're we're here. We saw you at your booth. Your booth is got a lot of traffic. You guys are doing in-ear monitors. You're doing custom cabling.
Yeah.
You got a great display, and you got a great team there. So stop by the Sam Audio booth.
Stop by and see you there.
That's right. So how about your role as MD? It's pretty new to you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How is that?
It's tough, but I love it.
Okay.
At the same time, because again, music is something I'm passionate about. Music is something I love. And the tough part is I'm a drummer, switching into playing the bass, switching into playing keys, learning chords. I got easy, but now switching into let's call the Nashville number system, where it's 1, 4, 5, 6, 3, 1, 1 over 3.
Right.
So again, you're not just playing, and this goes back to being a team member, right? Where everybody could play on one type of chord or one type of key, but you have that guitar player that plays with the capo. And if I'm playing a G and you're playing something else, maybe my G might be your C. So the way to call it is the number system.
That's right.
And that brings, again, unity in the team, and that's being a team member right there.
That's Sean's language.
And that's, that takes training.
Yeah.
Training people, especially young players, to learn how to play by numbers.
Yeah.
Even what the number means. You have some spectacular musicians.
Yeah.
And you're like, and sometimes I'll call out in rehearsal, like, roll with me to the 6. We're going to go 6 twice here on the, and there will sometimes, depending on who's in the band, be like, what's the 6? I'm like, it's the 6. All right, let's think about this. Okay, it's an A minor, whatever.
It's an A minor, yeah.
So it's drilling it down, taking the time to build the team. You were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Team building and that team management's a big piece of what you do, right?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah, so again, most important about team building is as a leader, it's about being the example, right? And also encouraging one another to be better. And that's a part being in a team where you up no matter what. And that's part of growth. One of my background is management and leadership. And one thing's huge shout out to John Maxwell was the 5-step leadership, where just watch me do it. Let's do it together. Let me see you do it. And then the 4th step is you do it by yourself. But what happens with us is a lot of people reach the 4th step where they could do everything, and it's awesome. But sometimes they feel like, man, if I teach somebody else, they're going to take my spot. They're going to take my glory or my shine away. When actually in leadership is different. If you taught that person or you teach that person the same way the first person taught you, which is spending time, investing time, and you invested in training, skills, and talents and whatever, you copy yourself into that person, and it takes stress off you. So you're making a copy of yourself in different people, meaning that you're not filling the team with players, you're filling the team with leadership.
That leads into one of my questions for you is, what do you do? Like, you've got the band that you like in your head.
Yeah.
And you know how it feels. It's great. And there is that piece of enjoying it and in displaying the passion is your ability to play together, and how it's just that line gets tight between everybody. And in church, we have a responsibility to bring on the outsider.
Yeah.
Because everybody starts feeling like we're the band. And then you've got to bring that out. You've got to reach out. What do you do about that? Especially when they're not here and you guys are here. Maybe they're here and they're playing. Tell me how you do
Well,
it.
most important, I call it the jail time, which is we can't be a good team if we don't spend time practicing, right?
Yeah.
That goes back to investing time with the person. A lot of people like to have team A, B, and C. It's always good to mix, but at the same time, don't feel bad if you have a C player. Bring them on board. Are they going to make mistakes? Sure they are. But in time, they'll progress. In time, you'll lift them up. And that goes on the other side of the coin where you have a bad player and you tell them, hey, bro, you know what? You suck. You're bringing them down. But if you encourage them, you teach them, spend time, invest time in them, bring them up, they're going to reach up to that level where you can have 4 or 5 different drummers. No matter what the switch is, they all sound the same.
This is what makes Jacob such a great player and such a great guy. He's uplifting. He's always helping everybody around him. So come see him at the Sam Audio booth, or if you're lucky enough to live in Northern California, at Valley Church in Vacaville, California.
Yes, sir.
Our guest today has been Jacob Padilla. I'm proud to say my good friend and an amazing drummer and MD.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us, man.
Pleasure.
Hey, thanks for watching the show. I really appreciate it. Right here, you can subscribe. Please do that. It makes the show grow. Hit that notification bell so you know which incredible guest is coming up next. Down below is the PayPal link. You can put a small subscription in. That is an enormous help. All that money goes right back into the show. And then right up over here are the next episodes you should listen to, curated by yours